Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, another fluid art creation. This time I'm doing a chaotic Dutch pour, or a chaos Dutch pour. I'll take you down on the canvas so you can see the size. I'll talk about my colours, and I'll also show you all the consistencies and talk about the ratios as well. I'm so pleased that you're here. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one, I can just tell. So, let's see what we can create. So here we go. Here's my colour palette. I'm using Daler Rowney and Royal Talens Amsterdam. So you can see here I've got all my colours. I've got a blue, a gold, a silver in the Daler Rowney brand, and then a couple more blues in the Amsterdam brand. But I will list all of those colours in the description box below. So let me show you the consistencies now, and all of these paints have been mixed with only water. 1 part paint to 1 part water, and each of them just trickles off the spatula and just disappears. There's no trace, and that's true for each of these colours. So it just trickles off the spatula and just disappears. This is the colour that I'm going to use as the main part on the canvas, so that you're going to see more of this colour, and then those colours there are going to be like the chaotic side. But I'll talk about the process as I go. I'm using a standard size canvas, so not a deep edge, but this is a 24 by 18 inch. They're on my cups, they're on my stands. It's a raw canvas, it's been treated, it's been triple primed. But I'm not adding any other colour or base coat to this. I'm literally just going to use the ones that you can see here. So, let's go. So I'm going to start off with what I would call the block colour. So just one standard colour in one area of the canvas. So I'm just pouring the paint onto the canvas, and then I'm going to use my blow dryer. It's on a cool setting and the lowest blow speed, and I'm going to spread the paint across this section of the canvas and cover the full surface area before moving on with the process. So remember, this is just a paint and water combination. I've listed all the brands of paint that I use in my description box, so be sure to just expand that and you can see all the brands and the paints that I use there. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, so that means for 1 part paint, I add 1 part water. And I always say, especially with something like a Dutch pour, if you can get your consistency and your base coat to perfection, then the rest should follow. But remember guys, don't worry if it doesn't go according to plan. Just tweak your design and just enjoy really being in that moment. So I feel that I've got good coverage and consistency on that side of the canvas. And the idea now is to take the other side and pour all the other colours on that side. There's no actual pattern that I'm creating. I'm just pouring the paint randomly across this surface area of the canvas. And this is the side that's going to be the chaos, the chaotic Dutch pour. So we're going to have two different sides. One's chaotic, where all the paint is just randomly spread. And then there's that block colour that we've just completed. So I'm going to take one colour at a time and pour the paint from the cups onto the canvas before we start using our blow dryer to blow that paint across the sides. I'm now taking the gold, so we've got the blues, the silver, and now the gold going on top. Again, just randomly pouring the paint, filling some of those gaps, and ensuring that I've got good coverage, so when I use my blow dryer, that side is easily covered. I'm saving the best till last. This is one of my favourite blues. I love Prussian blue, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that blue colour down that edge where it meets with the block colour, and then just pour consistently across the gaps. I'm just using my torch. I'm using my torch here because I want to pop any air bubbles. When I mix my paints, especially with a pouring medium or water or both, that process of mixing the paint with that liquid will create air, and within your mixture you'll get air bubbles. So that's why I use a torch now as part of this process to pop them. So I'm going to use my blow dryer, blow the paint. It's on a cool setting and the lowest blow speed. I hover the paint slightly above the canvas, not too high, but not too low. Probably maybe, say, an inch from the surface area. So I'm just taking my blow dryer now. I have sped up this part of the video slightly. I want you to see the full process, but I also don't want you to get bored. But you'll see how much of the paint I blow and how I work that balance of the block colour mixed with the chaos side. If you're enjoying this video, please consider liking, give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you know people that might also like the work that I do, please consider sharing this out too. Okay, I think I'm really happy now with that balance. I just wanted to check that surface area. Just wanted to make sure I don't have any excess puddles, because if I do, then I want to ensure that I've got a good consistency across that base cover, because if I have puddles in certain areas and I don't have a consistent layer, it's going to really affect that drying process. It could end up cracking in those areas where I've got deeper puddles. So I'm just finishing off this piece. I'm going to use my torch to pop any excess air bubbles, and then I'll take you in for a closer look at the wet version. I'll leave it to dry and then show you a closer look at the dry version. Okay, so here's the wet version. So we've got that block colour there that you can see on the right hand side of your screen. And then we kind of dive into that area of the chaos, the chaotic Dutch pour, where all of those colours are infused together, that have been blown into each other. And it's really interesting to see how they've actually worked really well with each other. The gold isn't too overpowering, but I love the blues that I've used within this palette for this piece. I'll of course show you some more of the details, and then I'll lay it to one side to dry. It'll take a few days to dry and to fully cure a couple of weeks before I varnish this piece. And here's the dry version. I think this is my favourite way of placing this piece. I like the chaos at the bottom with that block colour at the top. But with anything, it's in the eye of the beholder. So whoever ends up with this piece will hang it a different way maybe. And that's totally okay because that's how they're drawn to hang it. I really love this middle section where all those colours meet that block colour. But then we dive into that chaotic part of the painting where all those colours are infused together, they've been blown in together, and there's different shades of those colours as well. But I've had so much fun doing this, it's actually made me want to do more of these Dutch pours. So let me know in the comments below what colour palette you'd like me to experiment with. I'll leave it a couple of weeks so I can get some ideas from all of you, and then I'll create some more pieces using this same technique but with some of the colour palettes you've suggested. I've just turned it around because some people might also like to hang it this way. And with all of my pieces, don't forget, if you're interested in any of them, just drop me an email or a message if you're interested in purchasing them, and we can discuss the price, including any kind of options in terms of delivery, especially if you're not local to me. I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for your support, as always, week on week. It's really, really appreciated. And I hope I get to see you again in the next video. Take care, everyone, and have a great week. See you soon. Bye.